Well, damn, I was gonna have French toast, but I don't know how old these are, doodah, doodah. I don't know how old these are, oh, the doodah day. I could just ignore. Never saw those. Focus on these eggs. Don't look at those. What else? Cheese, obviously. You got anything? Cucumbers, half a pepper. I don't know how old this is, so we'll see. Some onion. That looks iffy. We'll check it out. That is not vegetables. Anything else I see? What is that? Those are tomatoes. Those are tomatoes and they have gone bad. Yeah, that's probably it. Got some taters too. You want to hear a fun little story? Alright, so in the last shot you saw how I got all my food ready and I took it out and I put it right out. Oh, gotta adjust that. Right out there. I put my food down there. And then, so I came back in to get all my stuff, and then all these little dudes, all those cats, came up, got on the table, and ate my food. So, gotta adjust this again now. That's a little too bright. There we go. I'm not the happiest camper right now, because I spent half an hour making that food, and yeah. Now I gotta throw it all out, because those cats have worms. And I still get to do all the dishes. So after all that fun and excitement, yeah, this is my breakfast. We have a Nature Valley sweet and salty salted caramel chocolate granola bar, as well as a Nature Valley sweet and salty dark chocolate nut. I know it's a really thrilling breakfast, but you know, I can't say I've ever had the salted caramel chocolate. I don't know how this is gonna go. So is the bottom the salted caramel, and then it's just chocolate chips, I guess? I don't know if there's any hype behind this thing, but if there is, it's not worth it. Like, this is a step down from the almond bar. Because, like, in my eyes, the almond bar is, like, pretty high up there. This is, like, way under it. Like, this is probably down by peanut. Like, this is nothing special whatsoever. So I came back outside to shoot this next part, and look who's here. Got two there, a couple over there. Unfortunately for them, I didn't bring any food outside with me this time. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about in this video was kind of just looking back on the race, because this is 1 week after, and so, you know, just looking back on it, what I learned from it, because this was my first race, and then like different aspects from the race itself. So yeah, just to start off, in my age group, overall I came 19th. My finishing time was 1 hour 17 minutes 26 seconds and 26.5 seconds, and so that is to do, what was it, I was doing the sprint duathlon, so I ran a kilometer, biked for 18, and then ran 4.5 kilometers. And so yeah, for my first run I ran 1K in 4:35. Then on my bike it was basically a 46-minute bike ride, and my last run, which was 4.5 kilometers, was a 23:49, which, if I convert that, 23.49, going on to a nice little pace calculator right now. So 23, well, adds, yeah, 23:49 for 4.5. Okay, I got really confused there for a second. 23:49, distance 4.5. Oh, calculate. So it was a 5:18 pace. Now, yeah, so I came 19th overall, second in my age class, kind of by default because there were only two of us. I was, how was I able to read this before? Okay, so I was 19th overall, I think, yeah, 10th, so 19th out of 40th for overall, 10th out of 17th for men, and then second out of 2 for my age division. So yeah, not too bad in my eyes. You know, it was a first one, so it was kind of just seeing how it would all go. In all honesty, I was expecting to take an hour and a half to do this, so the fact that I got an hour and 20, or like less than an hour and 20 minutes, kind of surprises me. But I don't know, the funny thing is that I found with it was that, like, when the day came, like building up to it, I'm just like, alright, I'm going to be thinking about it, like, I gotta try to do XYZ, and then day came, like, I checked my watch occasionally, trying to keep pace, seeing what time it was, because the way that I was doing my nutrition on the bike. So what I took was, I had like a single thing of Cliff blocks, and then a Cliff gel. And so I took 2 blocks every, 2 blocks every 5 or so kilometers. So I took 2 at 5, 2 at 10, 2 at 15, or no, 2 at 5, 2 at 10, and then I took 4 at 15, and then I took my gel at 15 kilometers as well. Just so that way I'd have time for it to kind of go through my body within those last 3 kilometers. So I just let my body chill out and do it that way. And then, yeah, I had a Noon in a water bottle and just a water bottle full of water. So I made sure on the bike to have everything in my system and to have everything like stopped hydrating, stopped everything 15 minutes before I got off the bike, so that way I wouldn't cramp up, because I have a really bad history with cramps. So I made sure to avoid that. And yeah, that was the big thing that I was really surprised of, is like, for the first time, like, I didn't practice nutrition at all. But I understood my body enough and was like, all right, this is what I got to do. This is when I need, or this is when I should take it by. So this is how it's going to work out. And surprisingly, I got it. Should I have drank more water either on the bike or the previous day? Yes, because at the end of the day, like, I was dehydrated, like bad dehydrated. Like, I didn't feel bad during the race. It's just like towards the end, I could feel my mouth get pretty parched. But yeah, would I do another race? Yes. Would I do it with more practice? Yes. Was it something that was fun? Yeah, I'd say so. It was definitely nice to do a smaller race for my first one, because, you know, not everyone's there with the intent to just like absolutely plow through and try to beat everybody. There were some people there with that, just because with this race it was recently sanctioned in order to be a qualifying race for the Duathlon World Championships. So there were some guys doing the Olympic distance that were definitely going pretty all out, just trying to make sure that they could win and make that qualification. But yeah, it wasn't bad. Like, the only thing that wasn't the best, this wasn't on my behalf or anything like that, but so there's supposed to be a triathlon going on at the same time. However, due to the weather conditions, the triathlon got turned into part of a brick workout. So they cut the swimming out completely and then just went, you're going to bike and you're going to run. Which I understand, but because it just makes it easier, because that way you don't have to worry about, like, everyone's in the water, lightning hits the water, and it also due to time constraints, instead of trying to reschedule and try to get everything set that way, it makes sense. And I understand that, but yeah, it was definitely something new to do this. I know I'm just rambling on, but yeah, I don't really know what else to say about the race itself. I thought it went well. I made sure to pace myself, because yeah, first one, I did a 4:35 for the first K in the initial run, which wasn't the worst. Would I have liked to kept it over 5? Yes. Did adrenaline take over me? Yes. But yeah, I wasn't too upset about that, because I got in transition at a decent time. My first transition took me about 2 minutes, which isn't the best, but you know, for me to change shoes and get my bike off the rack and get everything set and run to the mounting point, not the worst in my books. Is it something I can work on? Definitely. But yeah, not bad in my books. The bike, 45 or 46 minutes isn't the worst. I don't know. Could I have gone harder on it? Yes. But the one thing that one of my buddies always told me, because he was doing the triathlon, or just the workout, I guess, but he was telling me, like, yeah, just don't kill yourself on the bike. That's what everybody does. They go out, they go on that bike, and they push themselves way too hard. So just don't, like, just remember, you gotta run afterwards. If you can keep your legs, you'll beat everybody on the run. And so that's what I did. I made sure to just, the bike was just a cruise. Do I need to work on that for later? Yeah. But for now, it wasn't the worst thing that it could have been. Just because, you know, cruising, not a lot of training, wanted to make sure I had fresh legs. So I just did my own thing on it. Like, I can't lie, I was getting passed left, right, and center, but I didn't mind. It was just like, all right, this is my race. I'm doing what I need to do to be successful in it. And so yeah, what was it? So my bike has 14 gears, I believe, because it's 7 high and 7 low. So my bike is 14 speeds. I was in the 13th speed for most of the race, and so that allowed me to put out enough power, though not kill my legs significantly. So yeah, I was just cruising, going about my own. And yeah, at one point I looked down and I realized I wasn't in that 14th gear, and I click it into 14th, and my legs just go, huh. I'm just like, oh no. Flip it back to the 13th. I'm just like, this is where I'm staying. This is where I'm staying. Yeah. Had that, went flawless. The one part about the bike that I didn't enjoy was at the transition. So coming off before the dismount line, I had both my cleats undone. So they were both unclipped, and I was all ready to get off. And then I had to apply pressure because it was going up a hill. So I do my last pedal, and then I just hear, and I'm just like, oh no. I just automatically, I knew that my left foot clicked back in. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to click it back out before I get to the dismount line. And I'm just like, God damn it. But yeah, it wasn't the worst. And then, yeah, the last run, it wasn't bad. It was humid, it was muggy, it was hot as hell. And it was something. I'll say that. It was something. My legs were starting to feel done by the end of it. However, I was passing a ton of people during the run just because I had legs left under me. I did my nutrition well enough for my first race, so I was just passing people on the run. I have to say, I felt like a dick at some points though, because I'm going and I was accidentally passing people on the right just because I wasn't paying attention. I'd be watching my feet, because not gonna lie, distance coaches hate me, because back in high school when I did cross country, I just stare at my feet because I watch my form so closely, making sure my foot strikes right, and I try to feel it all out. And so I watch my feet, and so I had that where I was watching my feet. I was completely out of focus, and I passed somebody on the right, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I think that was really it for parts to work on. Just getting more training in before the next race, making sure that I am fully prepared. Do I know when the next race will be? No. Am I going to begin training and just build up gradually and substantially? Yes, because that way if a race comes, I'll be prepared for it. Or if I just want to do a mock race or a time trial thing and see let's see how this can go. That way I'll be prepared for it either way. I do have some stupid ideas in my head right now of what the next thing for me may be. But, yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm going to keep those a secret, though. Just so that way, if I do want to do it, I'll have it. And it won't be something I'll put out now, and then I'll be like, why aren't you doing this? Or I'll put it out now, and it'll be a pressure thing, or I said, I got to do this, instead of, this is my time to do this. But, yeah. For my first race, it went pretty well. And in case you were wondering, why I didn't do a triathlon, the biggest reason for me is my shoulders are terrible. My buddy, who, as I mentioned, was in the triathlon, he looks at me and he's like, dude, you're built to be a swimmer. Your hands are, my hands are decently sized. I see them like paddles, somewhat, because my palm is just massive compared to my fingers. Because you'll see a lot of people where their fingers are long, but my palm is just most of my hand. I literally think my palm is over half of my hand. But you may be thinking, that's normal, but I don't know. You look at a lot of people when their fingers are longer. But yeah, my hands are big, and then I'm not going to give you that free foot content, but yeah, my feet are kind of like flippers too. And so my buddy looks at me and every time he's like, dude, you're built to be a swimmer. Like, you're tall, you're lanky, and like you have the features of it. But the reason that I don't do well in the water, first off, my buoyancy is shit. I sink like a rock. Like, if you ever did swim lessons, you'll remember when they would be like, all right, kids, today we're going to float on our stomachs or float on our backs. I was that one kid who, no matter what, like, I had them be like, all right, take a deep breath. And, like, they put their hands under my back. And then they're like, all right, I'm going to take my hands away. They take their hands away. 8-year-old me. Right to the bottom. But, yeah, nowadays, I float better. I'm a comfortable swimmer. It's just my shoulder endurance. So the one thing that I need to work on is building strength and mobility in my shoulders, as well as working on form while I swim. Just trying to keep that as a healthier motion and trying to find out where my stroke is best at and developing on that, so that way I can be successful as a swimmer and go into triathlon if I choose. But yeah, that is pretty much the most of it. I feel happy about this race. I definitely do have a lot to work on, a lot to learn from, and a lot of experience to gain. But yeah, that's the most of it. I mean, I did get a beer glass from coming second at my age class. If I can find that, I'll put it in. But odds are I won't put it in because I'll forget about it until I'm editing, and then I'll see this point and I'll be like, oh, damn it. But yeah, with that, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know it wasn't very interesting. It was kind of me talking to you and talking about my experience with this race. I'm staring at the little screen right now, and I don't know how good the quality of this video is going to be because this is way too heavily lit because of the light. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me about them. I'll try my best to answer them. But yeah, don't forget, don't pray too hard. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, why am I saying and yeah so much? And yeah. Yeah, don't forget, don't pray too hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.